Okay, for number 22, we have a system where we have an absolute value function, those are the little brackets or bars, around x minus 3, and we have a linear function g of x, and I want to know which statement about these are true. Basically asking something regarding their intersection. This is a system, so where do these intersect? Some terminology here of what the actual solution is. So 1 and 2, the way those are phrased is referring to the x value. So it says the solution to f of x equals g of x is 3. That's saying that f of 3 should equal g of 3. And same thing for number 2, but with 1. Okay, and if we plug in a 3 for g of x, we'll see that we get 7. 2 times 3 plus 1 is 7. If we plug in a 3 for f of x, 3 minus 3 is going to be 0. Absolute value of that, 0. Plus 1 is just going to be 1. So we can use the calculator. We could type these in to get the absolute value button. To access absolute value on your graphing calculator, you hit Math. Scroll over to Num and ABS for absolute value. We can enter that into y equals, enter in g of x into y equals, see where they hit or observe the table, but just kind of understanding the process here without the graphing calculator. For choice 2, if we plug in a 1, for g of x, we'll get 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3. For f of x, if we plug in a 1, we'll get 1 minus 3. That's negative 2. The absolute value of that is 2. And 2 plus 1 is 3. This leads to a true statement, which means choice 2 is our actual answer. It looks like they intersect at 1, 3. So notice choice 3 and 4 are both a little tricky. They both have those same numbers, but it's referring to the opposite variable. They intersect when y equals 3, and they intersect when x equals 1. So a little backwards. You can utilize the graphing calculator for number 22, or even if you don't, maybe you have some trouble typing in the absolute value function, this could also easily be answered without one.